Merry Christmas, everybody, to you and your family. But you know, it's business as usual. As usual. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. You feel me? I'm gonna start off like that. But you know, this regular game, regular business as usual. You know what I mean? But growing up in the juvenile hall system, it was funny because like that's where you meet niggas you in tour with. Like when you really grew up with these niggas, you really figured out who was who. Like niggas gonna fight, niggas gonna get down. Even when it's you versus the whole pod sometime, you feel me? Because we kids, they put niggas all over the place. This one, it was the D unit, J, A, B, all that shit when it was alphabets, before the numbers and all that shit. And when it was pods and units, when it was dorms and shit, dormitory living before they changed. It was some cell and honor dorm and all that type of shit before they changed it into it looked like the county and shit. But it used to go up. Niggas snaking each other and shit, niggas fighting, all that shit. A lot of fab niggas, a lot of starred niggas, heist niggas, couple of my homies from the hood and all that shit. But I really grew up in the juvenile system. That's why I got all my credit from where you was going to school and you was walking through the hallways and shit with your arms laced. You feel me? Your hands bare and your head down, and we walking in two lines to the chow hall and all that shit, and sitting at them tables and got to be quiet, and they telling you what to do. Whole time they was prepping you. You feel me? Prepping niggas for the big house, for the next step and shit. But they had game systems, all that shit. At the time, it was PlayStations and PlayStation 2s and all that type of shit. And we used to go to the little courtyard and shit out there, and nigga kick shit off. Nigga be out there fighting and shit. Little niggas. Like, you really politicking, and it was Crips and Bloods and shit. It was still, that shit was still strong then. It was a lot of garden block little niggas, man. I was in in a unit full of garden block niggas, man. I ain't never really met hella garden block niggas until I went to juvenile hall. And they knew I was a blood and shit. And them niggas was all staring me down. Them niggas was deep as fuck. But it wasn't even no issue. It was still blood on blood shit then. But it was just a little different then. This before the cliques was fully in effect. But it was like you really knew who the weak links was. And niggas who gonna fight and niggas who gonna rock by themselves. Sometimes you was in them units by yourself and you had to get down. And sometimes niggas was respected and niggas knew who to test and not to test, and niggas was taking niggas lunch, niggas taking niggas Pop-Tarts and all that type of shit. Niggas was fading over Pop-Tarts back then and all that type of shit. And niggas would go to the gym, nigga, and was testing niggas. And you was put to that test, and that niggas would group up and try to, hey, this nigga, we heard woo-woo in here, nigga. And niggas would press you and niggas would get on you. But you know, just being a real nigga, I always made it through that shit without, like, a juvenile hall, you know, getting jumped and all that shit, nigga. Even me being from the manors, and it was crazy because like we had a lot of ties for like the garden block niggas because they wear green too, and they just like fucked with our hood because they fucked with Norgales, and Norgales fucked with Elm Street like we do. So it was some type of tie there, but we were still bloods and shit. So, but it never really went up. It was just different. But it was a lot of times I was in there by myself and I had hella family from the P, so I used to be with them niggas and it did sometimes go up, but that's when the stars and all that shit just started like really like being in effect, and the fab and all that shit was a lot of fab shit. It wasn't no Zilla. It was Zilla then, but that was more county shit. But juvenile hall was all fab and all that type of shit and stars and all that. And at the time, like, it wasn't really no, other than Beast Mob and shit, but it wasn't no, like, big cliques presence in the North like that, nigga. It was Manors, it was Heights, North Highlands, and all that type of shit. It wasn't hella, like, cliquish. Trigger Mob might have been around, but it wasn't no young niggas like that my age in the hall. It was more clique shit going southbound. Stars and Fab and all that shit. And Zillow, like I said, was in the county. They had the county jails and all that shit. But you know, it was just growing up. You feel me? Just nigga, you really growing up and really knowing who gonna fight, who gonna get down. You know what niggas really about. That's what really tested a nigga as a kid before you form into a man. But it was like that. It was regular. And then going to the boys ranch was like a mini prison type shit, because we had orange jumpsuits and barbed wire fences, but we had home passes and all that shit. And you know, and shit started going gradually kicking off, and niggas was just linking up with they niggas and this and that. But you know, you really found what type of nigga you was dealing with and who you was. And that's what it was. Growing up in the juvenile hall system. I never been to CYA and all that shit. But I always was in and out the juvenile hall and boys ranch. And it was always hella old park niggas, star niggas. Couple of my homies, hella hikes niggas and all that shit. But it was only the strong survive. But all that shit was just testing a nigga and really prepping niggas for the older, you know, generations. And big house, the jailhouse, and motherfucking prison and all that shit. That's all that shit is. These little niggas don't know that. That shit, it seemed fun because you in there with all your homies and y'all playing a game and niggas was on home passes and all that shit. But the whole time, that shit was just prepping niggas. Because they ended up turning the juvenile hall into looking like the county. The double tiers and the max units and all that shit. And not coming out no more. Wasn't no more kitchen no more. And you only eat inside of your cell at the tables in the day room. And it's a courtyard and all that shit. Like I said, it started gradually, you know, going into other things, and they start building it differently until like it looked like a county jail setting. Even though it's different perks of being in juvenile hall from the county, like you don't gotta pay for your own food and all that shit because you're still a kid, and they feed you a little different, way better. But it prep you for all that shit, and little niggas don't know that, so they take that shit for granted and think it's nothing. Cause I used to be like, man, this shit ain't nothing. Go out and still commit crimes and still do shit with my niggas, and knowing like, man, that shit ain't shit. My niggas gonna be in there and all that type of shit, just that young, dumb shit mentality. But, you know, that's a lot of shit a little niggas don't even think of. And a lot of these niggas don't think that it can be them. The shit they see on TV, First 48 and all that type of shit, they don't think it could be them. Sitting in that lonely cell by yourself without no help. Sometimes you somewhere without your homies. I done been in Tracy, and I done been the only manner nigga in the pie. I mean, in the East Hall, where I was at in Tracy, nigga, by myself, full of Zilla niggas, and a couple of G Parkway niggas and shit like that. But real niggas respect real niggas. Bloods rock together. It's a difference when you get to the when you get from the county, from juvenile hall county and prison. It's really a difference. They treat you like a man in prison. You really gotta, you can be by yourself, but they treat you like a man, but you still gonna get tested. Cause only, like I said, only the strong survive. And in the county, you know, that's where you show, you know, nigga, who you are, nigga. Cause you a man now. Niggas treat you like a man, so, but niggas test you more, cause you still, with all the street niggas that just came off the streets, and you gonna be fighting and seeing niggas and, you know, oh, nigga, what about that shit you did on the street and all that type of shit. And when you get to prison, it's race. It breaks down into segregation, and it's lines, and then it's cars within cars for the blacks. But, you know, that real niggas respect real niggas. But I remember it was an Elm Street nigga, and me being from the Manors, like, we funkin' shit hard. You know, lights been tooken and all type of shit behind this shit. But I never met dude. Like, I'm the type of gang member, like, if I never met you and you younger than me, like, and I ain't here, and you specifically ain't the nigga out there doing shit that I know of, like, I just don't see myself as like beefing with you. I'm gonna respect you as a man. You ain't bowing down, nigga. You from Elm Street, I'm from the Manors, dog. What's up? You feel me? You ain't tripping, nigga. Then it is what it is. That's just how the game is, right? That's how I push. That's how you get respect from niggas. Cause in the pen, you can go to a prison way down south, and y'all could be the only two niggas. One Zilla nigga, one Star nigga. And y'all from Sac though. At the end of the day, them niggas out there don't know about these cliques and all this shit like that. They just know y'all some Sac niggas. So we gotta make each other look good. We might have to be back to back, nigga, fading some niggas, nigga, and gotta rock this shit out, nigga. You feel me? But like I was saying, the M nigga, you feel me? I ain't gonna say blood name, but you know, I ain't no blood, so I was just on my, just coming fresh from the county, still on my tripping shit, but like looking at blood, like ready to fire on him, you feel me? He probably feeling the same way, and we just like, I shook blood hand like a man though. He shook my shit firm. We look eye to eye, you feel me? Okay, nigga, you know where I'm from, y'all know where you from, you know, and that was what it was. And that's the last time I seen him up until the point where I was transferring prisons, because Tracy at the time, I don't know if it is now, was a reception back in 2014. And, you know, and when we got in them suits, they like see-through blue to transfer prisons, you know, I seen blood again. And he first instantly extended his arm, and I shook his hand like a man, because it's like, you know, just to feel that feeling like we gonna be a long way from where we come from. Even though Tracy ain't that far, but now we going even further. Like, you going to a 4-yard somewhere, I'm probably going to a 4-yard somewhere, 3-yard, and all that type of shit. We got other shit going on to think about then. What's so small to a bigger population of niggas that's gang banging too. So I shook blood hand, like, you feel me? Like, that was just that look, like we gave each other, like, you feel me, keep your head up type shit without even saying it, you feel me? Even him being my enemy. And, you know, that's what really make a man. Prison really make a man out of nigga. That's a lot that these little niggas gonna learn. You feel me? That shit really make a man. You really respect niggas differently. You feel me? Until niggas disrespect. Cause I used to still be on the yard pushing up. Nigga, you from where? You from the Heights? You from woo, what's happening, nigga? You feel me? You funk with nigga, woo, what's happening? And niggas would be respectful in that, and that's what it is. Until niggas disrespect me, then it ain't an issue, blood. And we're gonna leave that shit on the streets. At the end of the day, this is one car, Sac car, and we all gotta look out for each other. There ain't too many Sacramento niggas and other prisons hella deeper than other cars. A lot of times, other cars, LA, Bay, a lot of that shit be deeper than Sacramento cars, so we niggas gotta stick together, and these little niggas don't know that. It's a war on the streets, but in prison and shit, you know, it's certain niggas, you feel me, it's certain niggas we gon' fade. But that's one thing, you feel me? Like, I need that blood for, you know what it is. As men, niggas gonna let that happen, you feel me? But on a bigger scale, you feel me? Niggas gotta really stick together, you feel me? These little niggas don't know that. You killing these niggas, they killing us, whatever. But in that pen, when it's just us, like niggas, the same nigga I might be trying to smoke or trying to smoke me, nigga, we gotta save each other's life, nigga. A lot of niggas don't know that. We might be cellmates, nigga, because we bloods, and we might be cellmates, nigga, without even knowing it. You feel me? And niggas might still catch the fade, but niggas gonna respect each other as a man, nigga. Because only the strong survive, nigga. Period. Never wrote it up. Never been a bitch. Nigga always been certified, nigga, on every yard a nigga stepped in, nigga. Always repping my shit, and niggas knew that. And niggas respected me as such, nigga, and I respected the next man as such, period, no matter what. You feel me? Even though I have it in my heart for certain niggas, certain hoods, I be tripping, you feel me? But once, and they feel the same way, but once it come that time to where niggas gotta save each other, and that's what happened. These little niggas need to know that, nigga, period.